Wow. You almost listen, my eyes started sweating just now. Because if I'm giving the real, raw, honest answer,
Yeah,
I would, I
absolutely.
mean, I would ask him.
Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We could call this Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard it from the champ himself, likely knocking out the competition.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And unlike our guest today, CHEVI RED. She's a ring announcer. Proud heritage to be Latina and African American. She's making it happen. One of the best ring announcers in her era. Also a commentator. Also interviews, post-fight, pre-fight interviews, media coverage. She's on the scene. She's making it happen. And she's kicking a lot of ass. And we welcome to The Fighter's Voice, CHEVI RED.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl, CHEVI RED, and I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. You know, I've watched what you're doing. You got one gear and it's forward. You're full of excitement. You're bubbly. You're motivated, and you're taking no prisoners.
None at all. Listen, I am coming for all of it. Like you said, I have one step. It's forward. You know, I look that way and I'm going that way. A lot of things that can happen, you know, so I'm trying to do all of it.
Well, as you are as well, as far as myself as well, you know, we're on the grind. I mean, we didn't wake up to take second.
Right. That part right there. Listen, the hustle every day, every day.
Well, talk to us about your coverage and you know, how you got involved in the sport of boxing and why the sport of boxing. I mean, you got that look, you got that personality. I can see you doing some red carpet work. I can see you doing some TV stuff. Why the sport of boxing?
So first, I've always loved boxing, right? I need everybody to know and understand I have always been a big fan of boxing. But my son had decided that he wanted to box. And you know me, as a mom, my mom instinct kicks in and I need to be somewhere close by my baby. So I decided to take my interviewing skills that I have from previously having my own radio show and being a DJ and just apply it to boxing. And it kind of just took off. I was just like, hey, went to a fight. I did a couple hosting things. And then boom, next thing you know, I'm in Las Vegas with the Mason brothers.
I saw you there working the Hall of Fame. We just had one of the inductees, and prior to the show, we had Kenny Bayless, referee. And I saw you work. I feel the energy, and your energy is contagious. When they're interviewed by you, it seems to rub off.
Yes, you know, and shout out to Kenny Bayless. He was amazing. He was so nice. I was a little bit nervous because, you know, when I was there in the fights and I seen him behind me and I'm like, oh man, I want to say something. I want to say something. You know, that's me also. I'm not afraid to speak or to go ask for an interview, but it was like, it's Kenny Bayless. What do you say? You know, and referees, they don't really like to do much interviews anyway, you know,
That's right.
but like I said, he was so nice. And as far as the energy, for me, it's very important to make my guests feel comfortable. You know, the media as a whole, we have a kind of sometimes a bad stigma of just being messy, is what I call it, you know, or just trying to get things out of people and everything. And I don't like that. You know, I really want my guests to feel comfortable, have a conversation with me.
Yep.
And that's what comes off and they respond. When I can get my guests to smile right off the bat, I know the interview is going to be great.
Did you read my notes or something?
No,
I feel the same way exactly. I really do. No, I really do. I'm giving you a hard time. It's because I've never heard anybody say it exactly the way I do, but in different words. I've always said to describe what I do is I'll be the guy helping the fighter to the car to catch an Uber, not trying to catch him driving and getting a DUI. I'm not that media. I'm not posting that. I'm not
Exactly.
doing any of that. I'm the one that puts the camera away and make sure that the fighter is safe. So it is what it is. And those are decisions I make. I stand by it. And I love what I'm doing. And,
Right.
you know, I love the fighters that are around me.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, when you're that way, when you're different, when you stand out, you get the better interviews. These big fighters will come and talk with you. You know, I've had a lot of fighters and referees and people that don't normally interview say, hey, CHEVI, I'm comfortable enough with you to interview because I know you don't do messy. I know you're not going to try to, you know, get something for clickbait, you know, and that really, really makes my day all the time. That's important for me.
How did you get started in radio?
In radio? So I am
Yeah.
originally, and the reason I am CHEVI Red is because I was DJ CHEVI Red. I'm a professional DJ. I've DJed all over. I've DJed for celebrities. I've DJed on cruises, battle DJing. I love to battle. And that's
Yeah.
how I got into the radio. I started my own radio show called Mix Like My Beats. And so if you break it down, I mixed and I mix beats for a living. So that was the name of my radio show. I played English and Spanish, the first in the city. And, that's how I got into that. And that's where I began to start interviewing.
And it just came natural to what you're doing now.
It's just so natural for me to just talk to people. I've always been like that since a child. Mom had to really, really reinforce stranger danger because I want to talk to everybody. And that's just me, my personality. And so, like you said, it was natural for me.
So you mentioned earlier on the beginning of the show that your son started boxing and that sparked your interest. Why the sport of boxing? Why did he choose boxing? I mean, did he play baseball? Did he do Pop Warner? And why did he choose the sweet science?
My son, he tried a lot of things prior to boxing. I mean, he's young. He's only 14 right now. And was about 12 when he started boxing. But he didn't like the baseball. Now, of course, the whole family, my Puerto Rican side, go play baseball. Then I want to play baseball. He's half Mexican. He did not want to play soccer. So, he had been asking about boxing. And of course, I'm like, absolutely not. No. Fought it for a while. And then was just like, you know what? Come on, let's go. I'm going to be supportive. Let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. My mom's heart was dying every day. He went to the gym, and especially when it came to sparring and things like that. It's like, And so, that's how we got there. He loved it. He loved to be in the gym and just kind of went from there. And like I said, I applied my interviewing with that, and moving forward, it just stuck.
I know you do some things for FIGHTBOOK, which is a great app. It's taken over the sport of boxing. It is the future of combat sports. You got to make sure you subscribe to their app. And, if you're a fighter, you're a trainer, ring announcer, commentator, you'll find everything you need there to hire or be available for those that seek and need your services and talent.
Yes.
How did you cross paths with them? Yeah, shout out to FIGHTBOOK.
Yeah, shout out to FIGHTBOOK. So listen, I am actually a day one, and I actually have been working with Mark Habibi for a while now, and started off with Wise Owl Boxing, his boxing management, which was the inspiration to create FIGHTBOOK. And so it kind of just went from there. I've been around for a little while.
Well, now it's there, and now I only see it on where it's at now, but it's going to take over. It's going to take over China, Hawaii, all over the world.
Definitely. It's definitely going to be a big platform. I mean, it already has been. They just started the Instagram. We're already up to almost 7,000 followers. It's definitely a movement, a big movement.
It's a movement, and it's an opportunity to fulfill your dreams and take the stress off you if you're a promoter or you're a matchmaker and you're looking for fighters or you're looking for commentators. Like I said, I can go over and over again. It's a genius act.
Yes.
And it is going to change combat sports, and it already is.
Definitely. It's definitely a tool to be used, for different aspects of boxing. And like you said, if you are a vendor, if you do anything in boxing, you get on here and put your services out. That's more eyes on you. That's more income for you. That's way more opportunities for you, no matter where you are. So FIGHTBOOK is definitely coming in and shaking some things up.
Well, talking about shaking some things up, man. I mean, we got, we got Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. taking on Jake Paul. What do you think of the matchup, and what do you think the outcome's going to be?
Oh my, this one here. So I think the matchup is pretty good, right? I think that Chavez will definitely test Jake Paul, right? I think that they will go at it for a little while, but I don't know. Something in me just says that Jake Paul is going to pull it off. It looks like he's got some, you know, some good training going on. His body looks great. You know, the conditioning from the videos I've watched and everything. There's a lot that's said about Jake Paul and in regards to Jake Paul and fighting, or he's a real boxer, you know, things like that. But he's putting in the work. You know, he's putting in the
Yeah.
work, and I don't know. I think it'll go a good few rounds, and I think Jake Paul might pull it off.
I think Jake Paul is doing what he needs to do to live that lifestyle, to become that professional in boxing. I would favor Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but I don't. Reason being is because inactivity will come back and haunt you. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yes.
You can't take X amount of years off and expect that muscle memory to be intact. You
Right.
can't expect that time to be there, or that will. Sometimes you question your will. Should I get off this stool? Should I continue to get hit? How bad do I really want it? Does Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. have the tools? Absolutely, he does. He has that
Oh yeah,
DNA.
definitely.
He's never been knocked out. He's never been stopped. I mean, they've TKO, but he's never hit the canvas where he couldn't get up. He has quit on his stool before or surrendered. I would say. I do think it's going to be entertaining for the first 4 to 5 rounds. The minute Julio Jr. stops throwing punches and just becomes stagnant, then
Yeah.
you're looking for Jake Paul to press, get his foot off the brake and press the ignition and let his hands go. And we know he's not a punk. He
Right.
does pack a punch. He does have
Yeah,
power. And that
definitely.
cruiserweight, a cruiserweight's a stake away from becoming a heavyweight. And in the heavyweight division, all it takes is one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't want to base my opinion of Jake Paul and his fighting based off the Tyson fight. You know, I'll say I was not a big
No.
fan of that, you know, but like I said, he's putting in the work and we see it, you know, so you know, I'm kind of excited to see what happens with this fight and then what happens moving forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that there's no okay, well, you can't throw left hooks or you can't follow up after a 3-punch combination, that there's no rules. It's just all a legitimate
Right.
boxing match. As opposed to Tyson, there was speculation. You couldn't throw the uppercut. You couldn't flurry more than 3 punches at a time. So it is what it is. I guess I would have did the same thing if I shared the ring with Mike Tyson. So, you know, I can't knock Jake Paul for that. But as far as Julio Cesar Chavez, I think Jake Paul picked the right opponent. I've been waiting for this fight to happen. I think it was like 3 years in the making. And we'll see what Chavez Jr. has left.
Yeah, we'll
because
see.
that long layoff is going to hurt him. It's going to sting him.
Right, we'll see. And you know, with boxing, anything can happen. Anything can happen at
Absolutely.
any time. We could go out there, ring the bell the first round, and Chavez knocks him out. Like anything can happen. You know, we all have our opinions and our thoughts of what's going to happen, but we really never know.
Yeah, Chavez Jr. recently, he said it in Spanish. He said that Jake Paul's head was so big he can close his eyes and hit him. And I was thinking, wow, you know, he's already starting the words. You know, let's see what happens once that bell rings.
Right, exactly.
Well, as you know, I'm going to ask you this question right now, and I'm going to ask you straight up: Turki Al-Sheikh, is he good for the sport or bad for the sport?
Ooh, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm kind of here. I feel like I need to see more, or you know, kind of understand more of what the game plan is moving forward, in order to you know, say definitely, oh, like he's bad or he's good. He's making big fights happen, and that's primarily what we want to see as a fan base. We want to see these fights happen. He's making them happen. Now, with that, there's a lot of, you know, money being thrown around and a lot of talk of the fighters just want to get paid. They're not going to perform. So we're getting these matchups, but maybe we're not getting the quality that we would as if they had to really compete for that paycheck or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think, but right now I really can't say good or bad. I'm kind of just in the fence of it and want to just see a little bit more to happen.
I want to see these fighters finally deliver. And I think one fight that is going to deliver is that's Canelo and Bud Crawford. What do you think about the matchup, and who do you see being victorious?
So listen, I am so excited for this fight. I mean, this fight is it's big. It's big. It's going to be entertaining. I love both of the fighters, right? I have personally talked to Bud Crawford, amazing guy, real chill, great. I love Bud as a fighter. I love Canelo as a fighter. If I'm taking my personal feelings out of it, of everything, and just analyzing it, I'm have to go with Canelo. And I don't say it's because Bud's going up 2 weight classes and everything. I saw Bud in Times Square, and he was massive. He was much bigger than when he fought Madrimov. So I don't think the weight is really going to be an issue. I don't know. People might jump on me for saying that, but Bud looks like he bulked up. And, you know, I just really think that Bud hasn't faced anyone with Canelo's power. And I think if Bud can take his power, if he can get hit in the body with a Canelo shot, then I think Bud definitely has a chance to pull it off. If he can take his power, then it's a whole other ball game. But if, you know, the fight starts and Canelo hits him with a body shot and Bud drops that arm or something, then I think Canelo will definitely break him down and take him out, you know, in the later rounds.
I'm glad you analyzed it and you broke it down. You didn't just say one, because a lot of fighters, a lot of people that I ask, they'll say one or the other, but they don't let me know why. They don't analyze.
Yeah, and you know what? It's scary to give explanations. And I call people on that.
Yeah, oh, you have to. I give an explanation whether they ask or not. That's just, you know, who I am. They'll say an answer, and I'll ask them why, or what makes you think that.
Yeah.
And, you know, they really don't know what to say.
Yeah, a lot of times, like I said, it's scary to give an explanation because people are ready to jump on you as to why you are wrong, why that's not correct, why that's not going to happen. Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's your opinion. You know, we should all respect everybody's opinions. That's not how it works. But, you know, with this and these type of questions, you kind of have to have a reason for that, you know, just so you can understand and then see later if it was true. That's what I like. I like when I give my predictions and explain, and then it happens in the fight, and it's like, see, I knew.
Well, actually, it kind of tells me too exactly what that individual knows or he doesn't know. So I know whether to embrace that or just, you know, walk away, because I'm not have time to explain to you, okay, this is a boxing glove, this is the mouthpiece.
Exactly.
I don't have time for that. As opposed to someone that knows exactly what they're talking about.
Right.
And one person that does know what he's talking about is later on this evening, after this show is over, we're going to have Manny Robles on the show and talk about being in the corner of upsets. He was in the corner of Andrew Ruiz when he beat Anthony Joshua, and just recently Mario Lopez's lookalike when he dethroned Caleb Plant. And, you know, he shocked the world and now put him in a position to possibly fight Berlanga or even one of the Charlo brothers.
Right.
So, I mean,
and I hope
fight or maybe run it back with Caleb Plant.
Listen, I hope he gets that. The rematch would be great as well, but I definitely hope he gets the opportunity because he went in there and proved he deserves that opportunity. I love when the underdog that has been working, that's been fighting in the gym and doing the same as these superstars gets their moment and they shine. I knew from the third round, I said, he's going to win. He's going to win. Didn't think that he would take Caleb Plant out, but he's going to win. And he showed that from the third round on. It was like, oh, okay, this guy came to fight. He came to fight. And exactly. I really, really enjoyed that fight.
I did too. And, you know, if Caleb Plant was not in tremendous shape, he would have been out. Because there was times he was rocked. There was times any other fighter would have submitted or quit or took a knee. But no, Caleb Plant, you know, he fought back as best as he could. It just wasn't his night. And I don't want to hear inactivity. No, it wasn't his night because his opponent made it not his night.
That's the thing. And this is how a lot of the time I judge a fight. I'm not a judge. I don't know how to count all the punches and all that. But I like to see a fighter make the popular fighter, right? The ones that we're rooting for and going for, make them look not like themselves. If you can alter how they are fighting, you are doing a great job.
The future of combat sports, a centralized platform where fighters, fans, coaches, promoters, and anyone involved in a fight game connect, communicate, and do business. Fighters can find fights, fans follow every move, and everyone in a fight game can showcase their services. Whether you're looking to promote a fight, find a cutman, or book talent, it's all here. FIGHTBOOK is changing the fight game forever. Welcome to the revolution.
And that's
Absolutely.
what I look for. That's what I like.
Your job is to make them feel uncomfortable,
Yes.
unwelcome, trespassing, like a thief. How dare you come into my area? All the above. You got to make them feel that way. If you can't, you got to convince them. If you can't convince them, then you know what? Don't come out of your corner, because that's what you have to do. At the end, you can embrace and give respect as you always do.
Right.
But during those 3 minutes, you're the bad guy.
It's off. Gloves off. They're on, but they're off.
Exactly. Gloves off. So, okay. Speaking of gloves off, I did a show last week, is Big Dog Bare Knuckle Boxing.
Oof.
Have you ever covered a bare knuckle before?
No, and I don't listen. I would never turn down a job opportunity, but that would not be first on my list. I have it lined up where hopefully I'll get Roberto Duran Jr., who's a bare knuckle fighter, on for an interview.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I see his footage and the pictures. I'm just like, oh my goodness, how do you do this? That is tough. That is, that's not something I would like to sit in for all the time.
I tell you what, this was my second with that promotion. A shout out to LeVar Johnson and also Zuniga, George Zuniga, promoters, and late happy birthday to Big LeVar Johnson, UFC veteran, and also bare knuckle heavyweight bare knuckle champion. This is the second one I covered for him, and it's so exciting. It really is, but it is a bloodbath. You will get sprayed with blood.
Yes.
I hopped in the ring this second time to interview the winners, and I'm looking like, where's your corner at? Somebody needs to wipe this man down. I mean, he's still leaking from his face all the way down to his chest, and you know, and I had to. Hey, there's a job that needed to get done, and it got done. Not the fashion that I wanted it to do to be in, but nevertheless, yes, it's very exciting. It's different. I didn't think I would love it as much as I do. You do. I suggest you show up to one and watch one live, and you'll be like, whoa, because all it takes is one. Right when you think one fighter's winning, it can just switch gears.
Thanks,
I mean, in no time, in the blink of an eye.
Yeah. Listen, I see the excitement. I've been to some UFC matches. At one I went front row, and again, just I feel like I was in there fighting. Like, I just I definitely will experience one day, but I don't think that would be my forte.
Well, you never know. You got to try it, you know. But you know, again, it's not for everybody. I mean, there's certain combat sports that I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, I cover it, I enjoy it, I respect it. But if I had my choice, probably wouldn't be in my top list. When you see yourself and you hear yourself in the job that you're doing, where do you want to be in the future? What does the future hold for you? What does it hold for CHEVI Red?
Well, the future for me ideally would be in the middle of the ring announcing these amazing fights. That is where I would like my future to be. Just, you know, another Michael Buffer, another Thomas Schreiber, you know, me, of course, not, you know, being them, but that's what I would love my career to be. I would love to be able to step in the ring every weekend and announce a fight.
That would be good. That would be the perfect
and of
job.
course, you know, the interviewing and everything as well, because I love it. I love that as well, but more in the middle of the ring.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to stay where you feel comfortable and where you get the opportunity. You got to capitalize on that. Yes. You know, there's enough to go around for everybody. And, you know, once you get that opportunity, you got to slam dunk it. You got to be ready. And it sounds and looks like, and you know, that you are ready and you are getting these opportunities, you know, living in the area that you're at and making these travel moves. It's paying off for you.
Yes, definitely. You know, what is this saying? There's this saying, when preparation meets opportunity. I practice every day. I watch film as if I'm a fighter, but I'm watching film of Michael Buffer, Jimmy Lennon, and just staying ready for the opportunity. And I know it will come. I know it will come soon because, I'm being consistent and I'm putting myself out there. I'm putting videos out there so that you can hear me. And I'm different.
Yeah.
I know that there are a few women ring announcers in the world, but I'm different, and I just really, really, really want the world to see that, give my opportunity and go from there.
If you could interview one fighter and you have not interviewed this person yet, who would it be?
Canelo. It would
If you can
definitely be
interview
Canelo.
anybody in the world, actor, rapper, or any celebrity or anybody in this world, who would it be?
Cardi B. Please let me get a full
Okay.
interview with Cardi B. I have Zoomed with her as a DJ and been able to sit in and speak with her in regards to releasing a track and things like that. But I would love to just sit and interview her, have a sit-down interview one-on-one.
If somebody was going to describe you, what would they say? Somebody that knows you.
Ooh, what would they say? Goofy? I'm goofy. I'm very goofy. It's hard to just pick one word. But
No, I don't have to be one word.
yeah, I mean, aside from something silly like goofy, genuine. I think genuine would be the word. My heart is so pure. Everything I do with love, and I'm just a real, genuine, raw, honest, goofy person.
When you're chilling, you're about to eat, you got a little bit of money in your pocket. What do you like to chew on? What do you like to eat? What is your sit down meal? What do you enjoy?
Oh, listen, there's two things. Okay, one is chicharrones. If you guys don't know what chicharrones is, that's the fried pork. Listen, give me the chunks, give me the grease rolling down my lip. Oh my goodness, that's number one. And then a medium rare steak, a medium rare ribeye is it for me.
Okay, if I see you eating a medium rare steak, I'm going to grab it and give it to the cook and have them cook it well done.
Oh, please don't tell me you'll be on the table cutting tires. Come on. No, medium rare is the best way to eat your steak.
No, we're not cutting tires. There's a tube in there. So it's soft. It's good. If it's seasoned and well prepared, then it's great. She said cutting tires.
Medium rare. Try it. If you have not tried it, you have to try it because in the beginning.
If I try it, the referee may step in and stop the fight because they're going to see blood all over me. And I'm like, no, come on, man.
No, it's not like that. And I was, like that before. Like, oh no, I don't want to see in the pink, anything like that. I tasted it. I never went back to a well or medium well steak. Medium rare only.
Okay. How do you like your eggs?
Over easy.
Over easy. Cereal or oatmeal?
Oh, that's a good one. Because I love both, right? I love me some brown maple sugar oatmeal with a banana cut up. But then I also love Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Raisin Bran. Raisin Bran is my favorite cereal.
Raisin Bran, that's what's up. Because you can even eat Raisin Bran without milk or just have it. You can just snack on it. It's good. It's really good.
Listen. I grew up on cereal without milk. Dry cereal, go put it in the cup, and there you go.
Hey, don't make me go get a bologna sandwich. We threw bologna on the comal right there. No, on the fire right there.
Right there.
And, we had the cheap part of the bread, and it was good to go.
Yes.
Grew up on that.
Yes.
Nothing changes.
Love it.
Tequila or vodka?
Ugh, neither.
Okay.
No, tequila is what I call tequila. Listen, the story I have from when I tried 1942 in Las Vegas, I never went back to that. I never, ever again. I am actually a bourbon whiskey drinker. If I'm going to have, a drink, liquor, and a Corona.
Oh, I was going to say Corona or Modelo.
Oh, definitely.
But you said
definitely
Corona
for me. Modelos are very good
with a lemon
too,
or
but
lime?
Give me the Corona. Give me the Premier is really good as well.
Okay, you want the one that just kicks your ass in. What, lemon or lime?
Lime.
The green one?
Yes, lime. That's so funny you said the green one. I never knew that this was a thing that, like, half the people in the world say lime, but they're talking about the lemon. It's like you just did. You have to ask the color. Like this
the
one or
other way
this one?
around.
Huh?
Yeah. Or I'll say I want some lemon, and they'll ask me the green one or yellow one. I'm thinking, well, the lemon is yellow, the green one it goes. Yeah,
You would
I've
think
heard
it was
people.
that
I mean,
easy.
people have asked me.
Yeah.
Should be easy. Okay. Do you eat your steak with the original sauces, or do you like A1 sauce?
So for me, a good steak, I won't need a sauce at all. If I need a sauce, it's not that good.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. I like to
I
taste the
feel
seasoning.
exactly. Yeah, the time spent to season it, to cook it, and if you're getting a steak, I guess so.
Yep.
But yours will probably need a cup. You put your steak in a cup because you like it, bloody. But other than that, yeah. So if Starbucks and there's a long ass line, do you go to McDonald's to get your coffee, or are you waiting in that long ass line?
If I have to choose between the two, I'm gonna wait in the Starbucks line. Just because there's more options, more flavors. But I personally love to support my local businesses here in my city. And there's a coffee shop here called Dahlia, and she's actually the first ever Mexican-owned coffee shop here in Cleveland. And that's where I like to go. So if she had a line around the corner, I would wait in her line.
Around the corner, there you go. And that's good because it goes a long way. And it does.
Yes.
And people are going to come and get in that long line for you when the roles are reversed. If you weren't doing boxing, what else would you be doing? If you weren't doing radio or anything, what else would CHEVI Red be doing?
Ooh. So I have a baby. I have a T line.
Okay.
And if I wasn't to do boxing and things like that, I would really focus on opening a place, and it would be called Isla Sips. And it would be a place where you walk in and you feel like you're on vacation, right? For me, like literally there would be sand on the floor, palm trees, bright colors. And in there, there would be fresh fruit juices. There would be fresh teas, and that's what I would do. I would put my time into creating that.
If you wrote a book, what would it be called?
Wow. If I wrote a book, what would it be called? Probably something along the lines of like all of the above. Because my book would have so many different layers, so many different chapters of my life, things that I've done, things that, have happened. So maybe something like that, like maybe all of the above. Or something simple as CHEVI Red.
There you go. Last question. Then we're going to talk about some stories and talk about some things that are happening right here.
Okay.
If you could ask God a question, what would it be?
If I could ask God a question?
If you can ask God a question, Jesus, what would it be?
Wow. You almost, listen, my eyes started sweating just now. Because if I'm giving the real, raw, honest answer,
Yeah,
I would,
absolutely.
I would ask him why my mother had to struggle the way that she did. I would ask that.
That's a deep.
But with that being said, you have to, oh my goodness, you caught me off guard with this one. You have to endure those struggles. You have to go through those things to have your story. And my mom has a beautiful story. And then look, she has an extended version of her story. And,
Absolutely.
so yeah, you have to go through those things, and those type of things make you who you are and build character. So, I would ask him, but then I'd probably say thank you.
There you go. What I would ask him? I'm going to ask myself this, what I would ask him, because I was going to say one thing, but then I started to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask him, how's my son doing?
How what?
I would ask God, how is my son Richie doing?
Oh.
That's what I would. If I could ask him too, I would ask him, can I go with you?
Now that's deep.
So
that's deep.
Those are deep. Those are deep. Yes, they are deep. But that's real. That's what the
It is.
Fighter's Voice is. The Fighter's Voice is a real platform for real people like you with ambitions, dreams, and the fight of you wanting to get to that next level. And you will.
We'll
That
get
fight
to the
where
next
your
level.
calendar is, okay, I have this event, this event, this event, this event as a ring announcer, and you're doing your thing. So we give fighters and people involved in the boxing world or anybody involved that has a fight in their life, whether you're fighting cancer, trying to become the mayor, or trying to be this next person at a high level, every fighter has a voice. You don't need a mouthpiece and you don't need boxing gloves to be on the Fighter's Voice. And you know what? You're living proof of that. And that's why you were chosen to come on the show. I reached out to you in May because in May, I made it all about the women. We had nothing but women guests. 1 week, I was just under the weather a whole week. So I just wanted to continue to have powerful women on the show and upcoming women and let the whole world know, hey, don't sleep on CHEVI Red.
Don't sleep on me. I am here and I am coming. And if you have any ounce of insecurity, don't even stand next to me because I'm bringing everything.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to sit right next to you because iron sharpens iron. I want to be around someone that raises my level. I want to be around somebody that says, okay, we can go tit for tat all day long.
There you go.
Iron sharpens iron. You bring your best, I'm gonna bring my best, and you're gonna get the best out of everything. And if I see you raising the bar, I'm gonna raise the bar. And that's people that I want to be around.
Yes.
Sometimes when you're around them, everybody wants to be Batman. Nobody wants to be Robin. Well, I didn't wake up with a yellow cape. You know, I'm going to have a dark cape because, brother, you want to call me Robin? I'm Batman. So we can share the mic and do what we need to do. At the end of the day, let's kick ass on a nice show. That's the way I see things.
Yeah. Could you imagine if 50% of the world thought that way? How much better the world would be? How much, more successful people there would be? Like if we, like you said, just sit with each other, iron sharpen iron, share the knowledge and everything. Like it would just be so much better. Yeah. But everybody just wants to be competition. Everybody wants to compete. Oh, I'm better. I'm this and that. Me, I'm not doing that. I stay in my own lane. I want to uplift everybody that I come in contact with. I want to give you my resources. If I'm here and you're standing outside, I'm going to find a way to get you in here, and I mean, I just think that if people thought more about that, and thought that way, it would just be such a better place.
A lot of people, like you said, they're just insecure. I have people tell me all the time when I bring people on the show and people are telling me, Richard, why did you have him on there? Or why did you have her? They're your competition. Or I said, bro, I'm not insecure. I mean, I know where I'm at. They're just different. There's enough to go around for everybody. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm just going to be myself. And there's certain people that rub off on me, that motivate me, that take me to that next level. And there's people that I don't look twice at. And it is what it is. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to give them. The Fighter's Voice was created to give the human being a platform to be heard.
Right.
It doesn't matter where you come from or what you're doing. Everybody has a story to tell, and every fighter has a voice, including myself and including you. And it needs to be heard by the world.
And I love it. I love the base of what your platform is created. It's amazing, because that's what we need. And especially, people who like myself who are trying to make it, we need to be heard. We need people to see us, and platforms like this help us. And it's great. Like I said, I'm honored to be on.
This segment is sponsored by the MALDONADO Brothers, proudly serving the Central Valley for over 25 years. From Visalia to Chowchilla, whether it's an expert tree service or professional landscaping, we offer free estimates and a team you can trust. Voted best in Central California for 2024 and aiming for a repeat in 2025. Call 559-994-7746 today and let's bring your outdoor vision to life. Superior quality to create your perfect environment. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now, and this is very deep. Your career is going to take off, and I'm going to tell you why. Everybody that comes on the show, this show is blessed. Every person that comes on the show, they take off. Their career takes off. I mean, it really does. It does. It takes off. A fighter may not win that fight, but he won that opportunity.
The opportunity.
Or now he like 3 sponsors. You know, I've had fighters all the time. Richard, can you sponsor me? And I tell him, I just did. You were on the show. Since coming on the show, you've gathered 3 sponsors. So everybody's a winner. Your career blossoms. It's what you do with that opportunity and how you handle it. Some people forget about us, and some people don't.
Right.
Sean Gibbons, awesome guy. His feet are still on the ground. I mean, that's Manny Pacquiao's manager. Great guy. I mean, most awesome human beings in the world. And yeah, I can't say enough things about positive people. And you got the people that they forget, but it's okay. You know,
Right.
I just say they got a bad memory. I can't, I can't hold anything against them.
Right. And at the end of the day, with those people who forget, you did what you were meant to do. And that's
Yeah.
it. Whether they, appreciate that or not, the only one that the opinion matters is the man upstairs, and you've done what you were supposed to do. And,
Yeah.
hey, they're lost. Me, I'm never going to forget. And listen, if this episode is going to make my career take off, can you have me on next week too and the following week? Go listen, I'll be here every week until we make something shake.
We could do something. Hey, we could make this happen. If you get the will to say, Richard, I want to come back on. I'm feeling something. I'm feeling some, critiquing our own work, and there's chemistry here. I think we can blast it. I think we can take it to the next level. You think I'm going to say no?
Listen,
I'm all open. I don't just listen to my ideas. I listen to other people's.
I could come back with an update and be like, hey, Richard, it happened.
That's right. There you go. Hey, we'll take that testimony. Absolutely.
That's definitely.
And I'll just say, hey, breathe on me. Bring it all. Bring it all that blessings. Pour it this way.
Listen, come here.
There you go. There you go. But just keep that raw steak, or you can give it to me and I'll put it in the oven and I'll finish cooking it. How's that?
My steak?
No, I said, if you give me half your steak, I'll probably finish cooking it.
Okay.
I won't eat it.
Listen, we're gonna change your life,
Mr.
Ortiz. We're gonna change your life when it comes to steak. Okay. We at some point we're gonna run into each other, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, it's time to go get a steak," and you are going to eat a medium rare steak, and then it's gonna change your life.
I'm open to that. We'll see what happens.
Definitely.
We'll see what happens. Okay. Well, listen, how do we follow you? How do we stay in tune with you? How do we know your next move? Do you got a YouTube channel? You're on Instagram?
Yes.
You're on TikTok? What's your handle?
So I'm working on a few things, but primarily right now it would be Instagram, and that's at CHEVI RED official. And Chevy is spelled with an I, so it's CHEVI RED official. But once you type in CHEVI RED, I'm gonna be the first person to pop up. So you can follow me there. And then from there, you'll see the links to my YouTube. I do have a TikTok as well. And I'm also on the platform Millions. So look for more to be coming from me on the platform of Millions, and doing more live interviews and more posting on there as well.
Well, I think you kind of miss one thing. I think you're going to be coming back on the Fighter's Voice to give some updates and give some news and build a whole new segment with CHEVI RED.
Listen,
Fighter's Voice.
Well, we can talk about it. Listen, present the opportunity. We talk about it. We see what happens. But definitely make sure that, everybody who's watching this, follow the Fighter's Voice. Stay up to date with them as well. Amazing guests that come on. And like you said, it's open to everyone. So, hey, shoot your shot.
Absolutely. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Anybody out there that you need something to say? The platform is yours now.
Oh, listen, there's so many people. I'd be here for days. But, since I brought her up earlier, I definitely want to give a shout out to my mom. My mom is my number one supporter. When I tell you that this woman saves up money so I can go to these boxing fights and travel and everything and not worry about anything, I mean, she is that. And so I just want to shout her out, because she truly just keeps my head up all the time, because it's tough. This industry is tough, and trying to make it, trying to break through, it's really tough. And my mom that's my girl. So definitely shout out to my mom. Shout out to my kids. My son has an Instagram, so he's definitely gonna be like, "Mom, you didn't say us." So shout out to my babies. I love them. They are my motivation for everything. Everything I do is with them in the back of my mind. So Yeah, and then everybody, shout out to all of my supporters. I don't really like to call them followers, but all of my supporters, the people that rock with me, the people that put my names, my name in rooms when I'm not there, or defend my names, just everybody. I love everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what, your house, do you got a front yard and a backyard at your house?
Yes.
Well, whenever you need it done, you need the grass mowed, or you need some cement work, or you just need a landscape, make sure you contact the Monaldo brothers. They're proudly serving the Central Valley for over 25 years, from Visalia to Chowchilla. Whether it's expert tree service or professional landscaping, they offer estimates. With a team you can trust, voted the best in Central Valley. Call them at 559-994-7746. Proud sponsor of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters.
There
If
you
you
go.
need it done, you got to contact them. They'll take care of you.
Get your house together. Don't be having them, what's the crabgrass and all of that. I have no idea about landscaping. People do that.
Right?
But yes, call them.
We'll take care of you. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our guest tonight. She's full of energy, full of motivation, and it's contagious for no reason. When I get off the show, I'm going to go do some stadiums, just take off running, because she got me all fired up.
Come
and then I
on,
may try
that's how it has to be.
day.
That's how it has to be. You have to put good out. You have to give good energy, and good comes back to you.
Goodbye.
Life is
Absolutely.
just lifing for everybody, and you just never know who you're talking to and how your mood will, change their day. One thing that I always like to say and I live by is not what you say to someone so much, but how you make them feel. How you make people feel is very, very important. It's very important to me. Has always been instilled in me. You talk to the CEO the same way that you talk to the janitor. You treat everybody the same. You just bring that great energy and love. Do everything with love. and that's
Exactly.
just,
You know what I was thinking about today? Honestly, what I was thinking about today is, and you hit it. How do you make people feel? It's so easy to return evil for evil or to ignore somebody. And I've always thought to myself, okay, I'm better than that. Sometimes I don't like the way it makes me feel, being that person. So I'm going to fix it. I'm going to try even harder to go back and return good when I've been treated evil. So even if it's, I may do it in a sense where I don't return evil for evil. I may just, walk away without saying something. So that's a start. And, I got to practice what I preach too. I can't just put it out there.
right.
But one thing I do put out there is our YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. CHEVI Red, we're just like you. We're simply knocking out the competition.
Yes, we are here, knocking it out. Just, every day working hard towards the goals, staying focused on the goals, and everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to. What's meant for you will be for you.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I'm glad I reached out to you. I'm glad you accepted. There was a few hiccups. You were busy one day, and then one day I was tied up, but we made it happen. It's one hell of a show. I had a good time. I hope you had a good time today.
I did. I had a great time. I really did have a great time. And like I said, the base of what your platform is built on, I love, right? Because I've seen episodes and everything, but now getting to speak with you and hear more in depth and everything and understand, I love it. I love it. And it was a pleasure to be here.
Until next time, can't wait to have you back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Richard Ortiz. And as always, the best part of the show, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
It's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.